Welcome back to the Real One Take Livecast. Returning to the show are Realm of Embers, and I am joined by Susanna again, and joined by the other members of the band, Gabriel and Billy. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Good afternoon. So, with good news, the album, of course, which is Liberator of an Ancient Land, has been released on April the 30th. So, that's been good. The full album has been released, because last time we talked, Susanna, it was just the single.
Yes, that's right, yes. And I've actually got the CD right here.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting.
Very nice. So, first question, obviously it'll be about the song which has been probably played a lot on social media and featured a lot, which is Forest Wish. Now, obviously we've spoken about it in the prior interview, but my question for this one, so it's a great song. It's got a lovely mixture of instruments, but it's also got a lovely mixture of vocalization. So with your vocals, Gabe, and with your vocals, Susanna, what's it like merging together the melody and the malevolence of to make this song very, enjoyable?
Well, I got to credit Susanna all on that. She came up with all the rhythms and all the lyrics on that one. So I was just kind of channeling. I think at one point we were talking about this. I said, I will channel your the feminist voice and smash all the men for you with with my approach to the vocal. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of similar to the approach on quite a lot of songs in that, like, you'd have the verses all in with one vocal style and then the chorus in another. I can't remember what I was even looking for, but I noticed that pretty much almost all of them were with the verses with Gabe and then me singing for the chorus, except for I think Burn in Hell was the only one that isn't like that, actually. I think that's just a slight coincidence, but I think I probably had bands like Lacuna Coil in mind.
Nice.
That was they were a band that sort of that was one of the things that really appealed to me about them, and that people like Epica, and I mean there's loads of different bands that do this kind of thing, but it's quite fun having the contrast between the two different sort of timbres.
And Billy, of course, adding your instrument into it, but what is absolutely fun about mixing a guitar with a bassoon?
Well, in this particular one, I would say it was the fact that when the tempo changes, it has quite a standard melodic death metal riff, and then it's combined with a bassoon riff that, if you've ever played it, sounds like it's from Banjo-Kazooie.
Good shout, good game. No, but there's a lot of good songs with just, sometimes it's catchy titles that really catch tracks. I mean, fair play, you've got a good list here, like, for example, Burn in Hell, The Curse, Survive, Was It Enough, Will She Marry Me, Am I Good Enough, Will I Get That Promotion? Sorry.
Yeah, it was really unsatisfactory. Well, I was doing, like, I don't know what got into me. I was like doing some kind of hyper focus late at night, doing like a kind of like a mood board thing for each song, just like for social media, and I realised that literally every single song except for one has the title in its lyrics. And so, like, I could like find the bit of the song that has the title in to sort of have as the clip, but then the Bard's Tale doesn't have that. Like, the words are not mentioned at all. I think, I don't know why that was one that was like harder to come up with a title for, because the other ones kind of came naturally. I mean, I think the actual album title itself, I think that was Gabe who named the song, and then also took a lot of negotiation to come up with decide what the actual title was going to be, but like, I guess it just felt like a cool kind of title to go with.
And the artwork for the album, which is it's very artistic, but it also it's like, oh, what if it's, I don't know, the art is very, I can't really describe it, but the thing I love about it, it's supposed to look beautiful and sweet and innocent, but it just shows the beauty of a decapitated head and, monsters singing around it. And those winged octo bat things, what are they?
I think we had the idea of just bats initially, and then when I got to designing them, they kind of popped out as more Lovecraftian little kind of weird horrors from another dimension.
They're kind of giving as a thought.
Yeah. So some kind of weird, like, unnamed thing that if you saw, you would go insane and then black out, as happens in every Lovecraft story. They started off as bats, just regular old bats, and they just kind of morphed into these horrible little Lovecraftian creatures, tentacles and whatnot, and they kind of took on a little life of their own.
And they all have names as well.
Yes.
This is Quilliam.
Wow, they actually got the names on there. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quabro.
Brilliant.
It's very scientific.
Yeah. Now, the other tracks on here, of course, obviously some is odd, but what made you want to pick Survive as the opening and first track for the album?
I think for me, it was the first song that was sent to me. And
yes, it was, yeah.
Yeah. It was the first song that was sent to me, and it was a good one to send also, because it really captured the balance of the melodeath and the folk, and it had the bassoon in it, and it really kind of caught me. And it's very immediate and but also anthemic. So for me, it had to be the opening track. And also that the message being, very positive, really.
Yeah, it's only downhill from that.
yeah, kind of, yes.
Yeah, well, I think it was also chronologically one of the first ones that we worked on as well. So it kind of makes sense in that sense as well.
It was actually the first one written specifically for this project.
Was it?
Yes.
Good.
There was a few others that were almost kind of finished structurally years ago, but this was the first one we actually properly collaborated on the get-go. Well, I had maybe 3 ideas for it.
I honestly don't remember, but I'm sure you're right.
And also doing the music video for Forest Witch, it's really nicely visual, because obviously you've got Billy with that awesome green background doing the guitaring and everything. You've got Susanna, obviously witching about and everything, and obviously you see Gabriel's beard comes in with that cool mouthpiece and thing. Was this idea just on the fly, or did you really go, oh, let's do this, and this, and then ripped up the idea and no, let's do this, and this? I mean, how did that surge into?
Okay, do you want to explain about the cauldron misunderstanding?
Oh, yeah. Obviously, we live very, very far apart from each other, so there was no opportunity to get together to do these things. So I felt like, how can I insert myself into this? And luckily, my wife is also very witchy and a great collector of Halloween decorations of all sizes and shapes, and
yes,
she has she's got one of those 12-foot skeletons that we don't really have a ton of space for, but she has it.
Love her.
And in that, with that giant skeleton, I thought she had bought this cauldron that for some reason I remembered being much bigger. And I was like, I'll just go inside the cauldron and I'll come out of it and whatnot. And then we get it out and I'm like, this is not nearly as big as I thought it was. And so kind of had to prop it up in such a way that it looked like I was inside of it, but I was definitely not. It was just kind of like covering the front half of me.
It was so funny though. I remember when you sent me those clips, and like it was really, I think it was really late. Well, because of the time difference, it was probably a normal time of day for you, but it was really late for me. And like I think I was staying at my parents' house, and then like they'd all gone to bed, but I was just laughing hysterically because it's just like when you pop up.
Yeah.
I mean, it was always like probably the silliest. Well, yeah, definitely the silliest song. I think it works very well. And then, yeah, the idea, the close up on the mouth, that was just.
Yeah. that was born somewhat of necessity because there are a lot of lyrics in that part.
Quite a few.
And I don't remember them, so it was like, let's just focus on my mouth so you don't see my eyes.
Oh, so you had it just in front of you.
I had to, yeah. It's like a huge block of lyrics there, so it's, like,
it's right. Quite a lot. It's because it's so fast, yeah. Like sort of going into a frenzy, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like even in the booklet, it's kind of like.
Yeah, there it is.
But yeah, going back to Forest Witch as well. I mean, for Lisa, I mean, yes, it's great to hear the bassoon in that and everything. But fair play, Billy, you know, to add that. I can't do a guitar sound really well. But
that's the intro.
Yeah, but it's just it's nice and raw because you know you've got the strumming and the blowing and shut up, the strumming. Oh Christ! You know, like basically, did you kind of like listen to the bassoon first to be like, I find a way to, or were you like, oh, hang on, I don't know, explain it to me. I'm trying to ask professionally, but now I've lost my mind.
The guitar was the foundation for the entire album.
Yeah.
The entire album.
It was always like normally, apart from some of the ones that Susanna wrote from the get-go, like The Curse, and the original Was It Enough, and The Bars Tell. The rest of them were just kind of guitar first, and then the bassoon or other instruments fit around it. So I had a very atmospheric sounding intro because I like a lot of bands that have quite drony chords, and it creates a really nice, often kind of a bit of a wintry vibe. Especially when you have the distortion on it.
That's the word.
It takes it from something like, let's say like a post-rock band or something, to then actually sounding sometimes quite dark, or quite, in some cases, quite emotional as well, depending on the bands, like Agalloch.
Yeah, it's funny because it's just like a short 7-second clip that like, you know, everybody's been hearing over and over. And if that's all you've ever heard of that song, it's sort of, you don't get a sense of like the whole thing. Yeah, people just hear that clip and then they're like, oh yeah, this sounds like doom metal, and that's obviously not representative of the whole song, but like that's literally just the first 8 bars or whatever. But that's kind of the nature of the sort of short form video content, really. I mean, how many tempo changes does it have? 2, 3?
No, just the one.
Oh yeah, well because it kind of goes double time after the introduction, but it doesn't actually change tempo.
But near the middle it does.
Yeah, well I'm aware.
Yeah. But yeah, sometimes it'll go from standard to half time.
Yeah.
Such as right before the tempo change.
Yeah.
Talking about 2 other tracks on the album, which I find very cathartic, or, you know, when you've had a really shit day, or you're dealing with someone at work or in life, or just someone that just shoved you while you're walking on the street. Fair play. The Curse and Burning Hell, it sounds really cathartic, you know, you just like, I want to yell at this person, I probably want to punch them in the face, but I don't want to go to prison or start a scene, but I just need to feel cathartic right now. I don't know, that's my opinion on both songs. They feel very cathartic, especially if you've had like a rough day. If you had a good day, they're good to listen to as well, but I don't know. I mean, what's your take from The Curse and Burning Hell, or what's the sort of intention you wanted to give to the followers and fans rather than their perspective on it?
Yeah, so kind of like what I was saying about the intro to Forest Witch, about it sounding quite dark and atmospheric. I was kind of looking at the same thing when I was writing those riffs for Burning Hell. But also a band that it was heavily influenced by is a German band called Sadakra that play like melodic death metal, but their themes are all about Scottish Celts as opposed to Irish ones. And yeah, so it's kind of like a mix of some of their really good melodic riffing, and then lots of not so much dark, but just more atmospheric vibe to it. Which, like the verse, it's got one guitar which is just playing some droning chords, and then the other guitar is just playing on the low B string, which, if you had them on their own, would probably sound quite typical, but it creates a different vibe when they're combined. And then as it got to the pre-solo, and that's just when it all really kicks off, the tempo goes up, because it's quite a groovy tempo throughout the track, and then it brings in the blast beat drums. The guitar riff is quite fast, and then the solo comes.
Yeah, I mean that is one of the songs that I probably get the most kind of comments about, positive comments. I mean, lots of people have like specifically mentioned the riff in that song, and yeah, like I've spoken to a few people who follow on Instagram about how they've sort of personally kind of connected to the lyrics as well, which is, that's obviously nice feedback to get, because it's kind of I mean the way that the way the lyrics were constructed was a kind of like a bit of an amalgamation of like general pissed offness at various different situations, but I suppose the goal is to kind of extrapolate from your own experiences to be kind of general and vague enough that it's still relatable to other people, but also at the same time communicating what you want to communicate. Yeah, so like I feel like that's had more, I guess, more of a vocal reception from people. I mean, the curse, I suppose, is like because it's a kind of like vaguely kind of pirate sort of themed. We
love
decided
pirates.
that would be a good one to kind of like use as a make some visuals for, do some filming, and so it's kind of, I guess, been a useful kind of social media thing. But people haven't sort of talked about that one so much. I mean, I wouldn't say it's sort of like it's probably not one of the strongest sort of songs on the album, but it's it's not terrible. But
I like it.
Yeah, I guess it's a slightly different kind of mood. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like angry in quite the same way. It's more kind of melancholy. Yeah.
Drown your sorrows in one mood.
Something like that, yes.
Well, you mentioned piracy and everything. I mean, that is cathartic, because think about it. Pirates were people that were just angry at the system and being screwed over, and they just decided to take a bit of liberation and prosperity on their own half. And because the yuppies didn't like that, they were like, well, fuck you then, we're going to blow you out the water.
Yeah, I mean, like, the song is obviously not actually about pirates.
No, I know, but
know?
Yeah.
There are no pirates actually present in the song, just like in like the title track. The song's not actually about Vikings, It's like it's just like it's fun imagery, and plays into the kind of like the tropes of the genre, I suppose, as well. And then you get to wear fun hats.
Yeah, and I know we've discussed this before, but what's just fun about dressing up and really embellishing the music, while also just having a great time in the forest with the instruments and the outfits, and just having that dressing up, doing a video or promo, playing your beautiful bassoon in the forest, and or dressing up as a Roman soldier and getting stepped on,
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's it kind of like slightly unplanned, I suppose. It kind of I mean, I didn't really intend on even making music videos. That wasn't even like something that was particularly planned. It more just kind of seemed to evolve out of doing the social media and like just trying to figure out like what connects with people. And it's obviously with kind of like reels and videos, it's having the visuals is very important. And I guess for us, which seemed to be like a kind of a fairly easy one to start with, like because the concept of like dressing up as a witch and going into the forest seemed like something that was quite easy for me to do. that was literally it, really. But I mean, a lot of these I've just done with mostly just like me and my sister and some other random people that we've managed to gather to get together, and like, just kind of messing around, and then get somebody to film everything we do, and then like try to cobble it together into some kind of coherent, like, well, I mean, not even a narrative really, but just, because we're not, we're not playing live. It's kind of like a replacement for that, I suppose, because people love to see instruments being played. That's one of the main things that I've learned from social media, is that's something that people always find fascinating, I suppose, and that's what brings the music to life, as well as when you can actually visualize it. So it's it brings it to life a lot more, I guess, for both for us and for them.
Yeah, but I hope one day you can all get together and play live at this venue and that venue, whether it's, of course, in America or in Britain. It'd be really nice to see Realm of Embers just bring this, obviously like you are with the videos, but to just, see you play, sing, shred on stage. More passionate words to add to this, but I think you get my context.
Yeah, I mean, the way, especially I arranged what I've done, and even what Susanna has done, has kind of been because we know we don't have the constraints of having to replicate it live. So one track that definitely would be a lot harder logistically to play live would be Survive. Simply put, from the guitar point of view, obviously, we'd have to have a second guitarist. That would be non-negotiable.
Yeah, I mean, it would involve a lot of session musicians.
But the acoustic section actually has 3 guitars at one point, but that's not the end of the world. We still do it with 2. But the big part is the intro to that section has a capo. So yes, you could play it without the capo, but it would not sound the same. I wouldn't get a lot of the droning of the strings, so it just wouldn't come out as well.
Yeah, and then I would also have to choose which instrument I want to do, and whether I'm also gonna sing at the same time. So yeah, I would have to probably focus on just 1 or 2 things, I suppose, because just looking in the looking at the credits, it's a bit silly, really, how many different things I'm doing in some songs. It's and a lot of these things that you have are 2 or 3 things at the same time. So it's I'm not sure I'd want to delegate any of those things to anyone else. But then also sorry, go on.
It would almost have to be, you would have to do vocals, keyboards, and make sure you program all the patches for certain instruments, and then for bassoon sections you get the real bassoon out. Yeah,
playing with a backing track is the kind of thing that's generally looked down on, isn't it? But I guess that inevitably would have to happen to a certain extent.
It would have to be a large band, regardless.
To
get everybody doing all the things at once. It'd be an ensemble. A large ensemble.
I think it could happen, maybe not now, but for an example, an album I like to mention for Angus, which is Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. I mean, that was just an album for years, just an album. You'd hear it on the radio, you hear it on thing, and then he didn't start touring with it till about maybe 20 or 25 years after, its release, and now it's become a phenomenal stage show across Britain and things. So you never know, maybe let some years go by, build up an orchestra or a thing and everything, and then it could be toured. Like I was saying, possibilities can happen. If that album could do it, maybe this one. That's just me being optimistic for you.
Never say never.
It feels like everyone's determined to peer pressure us into doing it.
But if you don't have to, of course, it's not, but it's just, we like the music. Well, I do, but we,
I mean, I guess also when you're just starting out with doing this kind of stuff, I mean, for me personally, I'd never released any music before, and you have no idea what kind of reception it's going to get, and we discussed last time about going viral on social media and all of that, and how it's very hard to predict these kind of things, and it's hard to predict what kind of interest people would have. I mean, I always just assumed that it's like some really niche thing that nobody really cares about, but that was fine because like I wasn't doing it for that anyway. It was just, just a bit of fun, as they say. Famous last words before it then takes over your entire life.
Yeah, pretty much. But fair enough. Let's enjoy the present of it. Let's enjoy the album. Let's enjoy the music. Let's enjoy the visuals. And if that's good enough, that is absolutely good enough right now. But fair play. Here's to a good future with the band as well.